Coach, how would you describe the progress of your team from the last time we saw you?
Well, I think every day is kind of changing. Today was storyline of the first defense playing really well. First offense not executing well, and then second offense executed well, and the second defense didn't. So it's kind of one of those days of good stuff and bad stuff.
So that has you in what, of a disappointed mood?
I don't know. We'll go back and look at the film, and anytime that you're in a scrimmage format against yourselves, it's kind of hard to evaluate because of there's always one side's doing well on a play and the other side isn't. So we'll go back and look at it.
And what's the latest on Marquise and his recovery, his recuperation?
Yeah, Marquise practiced yesterday. He's just not ready for full tackling contact. We'll put him through a pretty intense workout before this, so that treat it like a game, to work on his game shape. But he'll be back tomorrow for practice.
And you expect him to be ready for the opener?
Yes.
Did you see how Chris Hawkins today?
Saw him come up, make good tackle. Saw him almost score a touchdown on an interception. He almost made the play, would have scored. So, I don't know. We'll go back and look at the film. You always got to make sure you're evaluating the personnel they're going against also.
Does the fact that Cody threw a few touchdowns give him an edge over Memphis?
I don't know. We'll go back and look at the film. The numbers got lopsided today because the first defense, so many 3-and-outs versus the first offense, and so the numbers got really lopsided. They weren't supposed to be that way, and it wasn't meant to be.
The quarterbacks talked about wanting to come in and make good decisions. Can you talk about Max and Cody? How do you think that they handled that individually?
Well, I think they took care of the ball well. All the decisions, we'll go back and watch the film and see, all the exact situations that happened and how they did.
Does what happened out here, I know you're going to look at the film, but what you saw initially, does this push the decision any closer for you?
I don't know. I got to go back and see, and like I said, you got to take in the variables. One guy didn't really have many opportunities because the defense performed so well, so we'll see.
Were you pleased with the intensity aspect? I know you've talked about that a lot, keeping it high. How did they do in that department?
I thought the defense did well, especially the first unit from beginning to end. So, the offense didn't have a lot of it. It didn't seem like they were also missing some leadership guys that were out for injuries too.
Is this kind of maybe a situation where you don't pay too much attention to individual things? Maybe take a step back and kind of look at the overall performance of units.
Yeah, we always do that. In these games, that's my job to do is go back and look at all, figure it all out, and analyze all the matchups and who's going against who, and continue to move around depth charts and just get ready for tomorrow.
What's the latest you could wait to make the quarterback decision?
I don't know that. There's no deadline, so I don't know that.
Would you prefer to have a starter going into that final scrimmage as opposed to that scrimmage helping decide it?
I prefer to have a starter today. I would have preferred to have a starter a long time ago, but it's not what I prefer. We got to make sure we make the right decision.
You've talked a lot about both guys. What is it you like about Cody and about Max? Just if you could talk about those two guys, what you like about each one?
Well, I think they're both really talented guys. I think they're both doing a really good job with the offense. Making plays in practice and the scrimmages, and so I like everything about both of them.
Does this remind you of any other quarterback competitions you've had in the past? I mean, this team has usually found a way to find someone good. Whether it's a Castle and Heinert or, does this remind you of any of those competitions in the past?
I don't think so. I think just like every team's different, every competition's different, and these are two really good quarterbacks.
A lot of players waiting for you guys.
Thank you.